Hello there, everyone. It's I, SoulSilver17 here. Let me just say this: I do not own the picture, non-paid video. All right, okay. So, like I said, I would sound different. I sound different. I'm well. I think I'm sounding like I was back in my old videos when I first started. Um, I guess I am. I don't really know. You guys can say just know I am fine. I'm fine. Don't worry. So, I'm getting my Persona 5 Royal game booted up right now. So, I'm just watching the cutscene. By the way, I'm renaming because of two people's suggestions for Kirishima. His persona, his name's gonna be not Sharkman. I think I named it. It will be Cole. Where's the comment? Because I'm looking through on another phone. His name will be Captain Redtooth. Basically, it's like, I guess you could say, for some his. I don't know why. I could just see it, because, well, I was just going with. He looks like a shark, and then basically it'll be like be Ryuji's persona, but he has a red tooth, and I guess still, have the sharp teeth and stuff. Have the short, not short like features, just actually maybe a fin. Maybe the hat will look like a fin. And Kirishima's codename will be Jaws now. So, in this one, how we're gonna do this is basically just this. Izuku's. Well, we're also gonna be focused on the hero versus villains, the USJ, and then, well, and then we're just gonna be introducing. By the way, I never said about Todoroki. Like, if it's a guy or a girl. I kind of wanted to have a. I kind of wanted to, him to be a guy, but now I'm wondering, would it be just a lot more funny if Todoroki was a girl? Yeah. So that's what I was kind of trying to figure out, like the next palace. I came up with an interesting idea for whose palace is gonna be, but you're not gonna know yet. Just know that there's gonna be a twist to this palace. Alright? So, let us get into the video. I mean, yeah, I also just want to say this real quick. There's gonna be some twist in it with Dabi. Like, Toyota Orochi never became a villain. He's, well, I'm not gonna say what, but you guys can figure that out. So, let us get on with this. Alright. Oh man, I actually forgot about the levels. He was 24. I think it was like 30. Yeah. So anyways, let us go. So, it's after the whole entire ball throw, alright? Like, people came in, stuff. Like, the whole entire event, Mineta was kicked off. We're going to Izuku, walking over to support course. He goes, support course, support course, support course. Why is it a big metal door? Or, wait, was that because he, before he can finish a sentence, he heard an explosion before. That's why he paused, and he goes like, what was that? And then, another explosion happens, and just like in canon, he wakes up after smoke clears, his open up his eyes. He's like, my head. What was I hit by? So like normal Izuku would happen, this is the exact same thing that happened to this Izuku. And then basically he looks up and he sees this girl with pink hair with goggles on her head. She goes, "Hi, I'm Mei Hatsume, and who are you?" He's like, "First, get off of me. Second, please get off of me." And she goes, sorry. And he's like, does she not even realize I'm like, whatever, fuck it. I don't care. So, he was like, anyways, my name is Zuku Sakura. It's nice to meet you. She goes, basically goes like, Mei Hatsumi, right? She goes, yeah. And he goes like, great. So, where's the, as then, basically, Power Loader comes over and is like, Hatsune, how many times did I have to tell you not to blow, oh, Zuku, you're here. I'm just gonna be putting my phone there. I'm gonna have a DV playing the game real quick because I need to get to the personas, and I'm not there at the I'm not at a part of the game because I finished the game and I got most of the persona compendium done. So I got nearly all the personas. So, anyways, as I was saying, Zuko goes, hey, Power Loader. Yeah, it's me. Sorry I wasn't in the first periods. For first period and everything, it's, He goes, yep, Nasa told me the whole entire gist of it. So, come on in. And he was like, great. So, why did I hear 2 explosions? And then he looks over, seeing some machinery parts from a gadget that blew up. And he's like, never mind. He was like, yeah, that's Hatsumi for you. She's a brilliant builder, but everything blows up. And she just scratches back her head and goes like, yeah, I know. So, after that, some kids are just saying, like, basically, Power Loader introduces him to some of those kids. And, well, there it is. He introduces some kids to Zuku. And, well, I mean, basically they all get along and stuff. And then Hatsumi goes like, so, why were you here for, well, the first couple periods? It's already like that at lunch. He was like, oh, yeah. Should I tell them? And he was like, let me. And he goes like, Izuku Midoriya is in the hero course. Oh, not Izuku Midoriya, Izuku Sakura. Here's in the hero course. Everyone just looks at Izuku. Just shocked. And he's like, is that a bad thing? And they're like, no. It's just like, what's your quirk? And he goes like, it's elements, basically. And then Matsumi's like, show me, please. And he's like, oh, like, she's all in his face like near, and he's like, okay, calm down, Hatsume. Okay, so he backs up, and he goes, alright, here's some fire. And then he basically has a fireball in his hand, and then he makes some ice in his hand. Then basically electricity and wind. He was like, that's mostly it. I mean, I could probably get some other part of my quirk. So far it's been elements. I don't know what else I can get. As everyone's saying, oh my god, that is so cool. And he just like chuckles. He was like, jeez. Everyone's not mad I'm in the hero course? Surprising. And Paolo was like, nah, most of these kids wish they were in the hero course. I mean, they all have potential. I mean, good, to become a hero. But their quirks ain't suitable for it. As Izuku nods. So, Paolo does this. So, got anything you want to build, fix, impress us? He was like, well, I mean, I kind of want to make a 3D printer. And he was like, he was like, miniature size one. He's like, wait, how miniature size? He was like, something that goes around your wrist. He goes, Why? Okay, before you guys ask why that, imagine he can basically have any weapon he needs on hand. I mean, technically he has this chain that can turn into a sword, but he just make a sword and like that. Or basically he can just make any freaking like he never run out of bullets. I mean, seriously, in the game you freaking run out of bullets, ammo. Makes sense, right? If you guys want to say that doesn't, that's fine by me. Anyways, so let's continue on with this. So basically, after Rizuku explains his design and idea, he was like, "Alright, but first, well, I mean, you look like you have something in your bag." And Rizuku was like, "Crap, Ryuji." And he was like, yeah, sorry, it's just probably the mechanism acting up." And he was like, "Mechanism?" Like, most people are looking like that. So he basically reaches into his bag because he does have the, well, grappling hook that um Persona 5, I call him Rin, but hold on. I know the name now, it's just hard to remember. Okay, so I found out his name was Ren Omnia. I know I pronounced the last name wrong, but so what he got from Ren. That was the most funniest thing. I think I found that out. Huh. I think I just made up, like, found out, or I made it up and that was right. Wow. Anyways, so his name, is Ren, basically Amiya, his teacher, Joker, basically. As he pulls out and, well, but everyone's kind of shocked that it's tiny, like, it's tiny. And he was like, what is it? He was like, a grappling hook. He's like, a grappling hook? He was like, yeah. Basically, one of the kids saying, "Can you show us how it works?" He's like, "Okay." So he puts it on around his, wrist, and then he puts out his arm, or well, that's what it looks like. But then he pulls it back, and then throws out his arm and shoots it, and then it hooks onto something and pulls him to the wall as he just holds on to the to the part that he hooked onto, and just on the wall. He's like, and that's how it works. Any questions? And then I was like, how is it? How? It's like, what? It can pull me, even though I'm basically. I was like, yes. And he was like, the motor. The motor's pretty silent, but it's very, very powerful. As in, Paolo says, "Can I see it?" He goes, "Yeah." So basically, after Paolo takes a few minutes to examine it, his jaw dropped, and he was like, Izuku was like, Well, he was like, "What's the problem, Teach?" He was like, "You have any idea how powerful this motor is?" He's like, "Probably can generate about a whole entire city block." He's like, "Whole entire city block, more like half of Japan." He's like, oh, "Wow, that's my." Just want to say that's my interpretation of it, because how else would it be able to pull him? Pull someone. He's like, but anyways, back to it. And then he was like, anyways, I mean, the motor is, well, looks like it was repaired, but it doesn't look like it's on very good lives, and I don't think anyone can refix this, well, back to its prime. And then Zuko goes like, just give me a couple of hours. I mean, I could probably fix it in no time. I mean, I basically already made the repairs before. He was like, that makes sense. Alright. So, let me help you with this one. He's like, sure. So, basically, while they're working on it, May's like, using her goggles to get a closer look at the, whole entire thing and how it works. Everyone's just watching them, and to their amaze, to basically Paolo's amaze, the well, the equipment. I mean, the equipment plus the material Zuko was using. it's actually just not like fixing it, but it's actually improving it. Like these are like high grade materials that only the teacher's allowed to use, and he forgot, but because not many kids are able to use them properly. So, but Zuko's using them perfectly fine, which kind of shocking, to be honest. Which Paolo was thinking to himself, how is he? Nah, okay, let's just see. So, you're probably gonna hear my dad talking to my dog, well, our dog. So, I'm just saving my game and the whole entire Persona game, basically. Oh, yeah, I even got the new Shin Megami Tensei game, 11, basically. I was playing that today. It took me about 5 hours just to get to a different part of the game. Hold on. Okay, so basically, I'll turn on my fan real quick. So basically, after it's done, the whole entire grappling hook's design and how it looks was totally freaking different. Which Izuku was like, huh, not bad. He improved on it dramatically. Cool, I can at least take 3 people at once instead of 2. Which he's like, wait, this thing could have took 2 people? He's like, yep. Pretty impressive, right? He's like, yeah, kid, this is like, I don't know how, but this was amazing. And Zuko thinks, thank you for Morgana and Ren for it. Anyways, I improved on it. I better tell him that. And then, well, just, well, Power Loader says, alright, everyone, get back to work. You got some projects you gotta do. And Zuko, you get to work on that, well, mini 3D printer. So, got it, sir. So, Izuku starts making designs. He's come up with many different things, and in the end, the design, it's just somewhat similar to how the grappling hook is like. And he's thinking, why not make it like a punk rock? Yeah, like it has spikes on it. Make it where it just looks like a regular bracelet and no one really can tell. Nice. So he just starts designing it like that and he says, pretty cool. I mean, each part of the spikes will hold a certain amount of materials in it. And, well, depending on the material, it can probably be easily absorbed. Probably only liquefied and, He started thinking, if I go into Memento's Dark Hour TV world, it'll be better off if I have this on me. Including a couple liquids it can, of the material I could use. Probably the most easiest thing. Air and water. If I can make them out of air and water, then... Just then Hatsune comes over and says, what you doing? And he's like, try to figure out what's the material I can use to where it's always convenient to have with this. And she sees it, and is like, why does it look like a bracelet with spikes on it? He was like, each spike will hold the materials in it, basically. It'll be a liquefied version of it, though. And the whole entire, well, you see this part, as then he shows like a metal metal, how can I say this? You know when it's like 3D printing? And there's like little beams that are like connecting in, like somehow making material. Yeah, it's like that, but it's just like a miniature sized version of it. Like, and she was like, oh, so those are gonna be like the lasers that'll come out and make the whole entire, well, any little object. He was like, yep, exactly. It's like, okay. So, why does but seriously, why a bracelet? He's like, it's way more convenient. She's thinking about it, and it's like, but wouldn't anyone want to take it? He goes like, that's why it's disguised as a bracelet. Not many people want something like this then. And she's like, true. So, anyways, I'm gonna get back to work. piece. And, he just starts to, well, work on the design more, and then show power loader. And that was his whole entire day, actually. Just drawing the design and just starting to get the material. So, let's go to Izuku on the way home. Now, while Izuku was on the way home, he's talking to Kirishima. And Kirishima was like, "So, what do you think's gonna happen?" He was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, he goes, Izuku. I mean, not Midoriya. Sakura." And he's like, "Izuku." He's like, "Yeah, Izuku. Question. Yeah? What are we gonna, seriously, what's the next person we're gonna go after?" He's like, well, judging by the Phantom Thieves and what my mom told me, they usually went after criminals, the worst of the worst. Pure scum. Besides my mom. She was in a state of, well, she would have died if they didn't help her, so. He's like, really? He goes, yeah. Here, let me tell you the story. As he's just telling him the story on what, she can tell from Brenda Morgana. As just then he bumps into somebody. As Izuku goes like, sorry about that, sir. And then he sees this guy with, well, short, spiky yellow hair and a black jacket with a shirt with with like a yellow star on it, and just regular pants and shoes. He was like, "No problem, kid. No harm, no foul." And well, there's then a little girl next to him, basically around maybe 10 years old, and he was like, did you sure about that, sir?" He's like, "Did I hurt you?" He was like, "No, don't worry. Say, is your name, well, Izuku Sakura?" He's like, yeah. Why?" He goes, "Name's Ryuji." Here, wait. As in basically is what Kirishima's like thinking. He's like, wait, how? And then he was like, "Oh, I guess this is your partner." Huh? She's like, "Yeah, this is Kirishima, Enjiro Kirishima." He goes, "Well, Enjiro, name's Ryuji Sakamoto. It's a pleasure. Was one of the Phantom Thieves. Skull." And he's like, wait. You were Skull?" And he's like, "Yeah." I mean, were you a fan of me or something? I mean, not many people knew about us or what we look like. Well, only our code names. It's like, yeah. Well, I mean, I am a fan, so. And it is really a great honor to meet you, sir. As, Kirishima bows, and, well, Ryuji just chuckles. And, his daughter's like, "Dad, why is he saying he's a fan? Aren't you just a fitness trainer?" And wait, I want to double check because I'm going off some ideas of what someone wrote down for the series, and I was like, these are really good. I think I'm gonna use them. Yeah, basically, yep, fitness trainer. And he was like, "It's just something I did before you were born, sweetie. It's nothing much." She's like, "Okay." And then basically, all of us, okay. I do not know if they like each other, but I just say this: they knew each other since middle school. So, and there's some moments where this girl and Ryuji had a lot of moments. So, basically, a woman comes over and goes like, "Ryuji, remember, we're trying to look for Ren's, student." As then he was like, "And come on, I already found him." And, well, she looks over and she was like, "Oh, well, sorry about that then. He's like, it's no problem. And basically, Ryuji's little girl runs over to her and goes like, Mommy, basically. And she was like, sorry about for leaving so much, sweetie. And he's like, it's okay. You're just trying to look for him. And she puts over to Izuku. And, well, Anne looks over and she goes, basically Izuku and Kirishima. He goes, the name's Anne Tamaki. And Izuku's like, wait, Anne Tamaki. Like, basically, even Kirishima's looking, and he's like the famous fucking model and actor? And she goes, mm-hmm. And they look at Ryuji, and they look at her and him again, and goes like, how the heck did you two get together? They both say out loud, Yoan. And Ryuji's go like, why does everyone I know react like that? As Anja laughs, and he goes like, well, I mean, to be fair, back then you were a little. He was like, I know, of a hothead. He goes, okay, so why are you two here? Zuko asks with a curious tone, and he says, no offense. If that was like offensive, he was like, both of them look at him, shake the head, no. And he was like, okay, whew. So, why are you guys here? He was like, well, Ryuji just says, well, here's the thing. I recently came back to Japan along with my wife. So, and we're going to be in Japan for quite a while. I mean, Joker asked us to, well, help you. And from what it looks like I mean, you're gonna, well, you don't really need that much help fitness-wise, but there's always more improvement. So, I'm helping you with your fitness. And here, well, just to make sure I don't overdo it. And, well, maybe bring your outer look. So everyone can see. And he's like, what do you mean? And she goes, the punk rock look? I don't know how, but it works. As he goes like, okay. Thanks. And basically Kirishima was like, how do you meet these people? He's like, and Zuko just looks at me like, I don't know. And basically, for some reason, Ryuji just starts laughing. The human, Ryuji. Or, yeah. Okay, so there's Ryuji the cat, and then there's Ryuji. Basically, I guess I just should call him Sakamoto. Yeah, I think for now, basically, I'll just say Ryuji Sakamoto. Yeah, that makes more sense. So basically, Ryuji Sakamoto just starts laughing, and basically they just look at it, both Izuku and Kirishima look at him, and they ask, why are you laughing? And he was like, sorry. You just remind me of the old days. Anyways, come on. I have to get back to Ren's place. He's like, well, I mean, he didn't tell me He's like, yeah, I know. Basically, you have both your senseis there. The one with daggers and, sword one? Huh. How do you even meet those two? I mean, they say they're persona users. And basically, Zuko goes, yeah. Basically, he was like, no, seriously, how did I have to even say their names right? Hold on. Oh, it's Sensei Yu and Sensei Yosuke. And he was like, huh, first basis? He was like, yeah, I mean, I've been training with them all my life, so they said special permission to use their first names. And, well, Ryuji Sakamoto says, okay, understandable. So, after basically an hour, he gets to Ren's place. And, well, since when he opens up, since they got there, he opens up the door, he sees Futaba. He's like, Mom? And he's like, oh, hi, sweetie. And, well, Ren just says, you're here. Great. Perfect timing. I just explained to Futaba on what's happening. So, after, they come in, sit down, and he's like, so, what is it, sir? He's like, well, here's the thing. I figured you need some help from the past Phantom Thieves. Better off if that happens, to be honest. See, most of us have made, well, as you can see, lives that basically you would never know. Basically, Ryuji here, as he points over, to Ryuji Sakamoto, is a, well, fitness trainer, basically. It's kind of the most ironic thing since he was always trying to, well, do track. And Ryuji just, well, just shrugs me like, hey, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, basically I help out and, I mean, to where she got in today, along for her hard work, I only helped out a little. And I decided to make a career out of it. And turned out it was a pretty good idea. And then he goes, exactly. And then Ann here. Oh, you already know. He's like, yeah. And then, well, we got the famous artist. Then, basically, Kirishima nods his head. As he goes, yeah. We know. So, hold on. I just need to do something real quick. Okay, so, basically. And then Ryan says, oh, that's not all. As then all of a sudden, the door opens up. As they hear, well, one person says, sorry we're late. I mean, the office was busy with paperwork. And then everyone goes like, yeah, my practice wasn't done till not even like an hour ago. It took a while to get here. And then basically I was like, well, they're not really late. They just got here. And basically both of them sign relief. And then he goes like, wait, is that Makoto Nijima? And then Kirishima goes like, and Kazumi oh my god, her name? Yoshizama? And basically like, wait, and then it goes like, wait, you mean that gymnast? And Kirishima goes, yeah. He's like, okay, okay, Teach, how many famous people do you know? And he was like, well, we're all friends, so all of them. It's like, jeez, I'm surprised you're not married to one of them. And, well, next thing you know, someone comes in again. And basically he was like, is that... okay, really? Deku just looks at him and he was like, what? How do you know a millionaire? Or billionaire? He was like... And basically Howard just goes like... is he... And he nods. And Ren nods. He was like, alright. Name's Haru Akuma. Well, used to be. I can say my real name now. And he's like, okay. So, you guys are all gonna help me out in Kirishima train? And then basically you and Yosuke comes in and you're like, yep. We even called some of our friends too. And they're like, wait, what? And then basically Chie comes in and, well, then Nato, Kanji, Rias, basically the actor and singer basically from Persona 4, Yukuto, and Mary. And they're like, wait, okay, so basically a poet, someone who owns a famous inn, because they're all saying their names, and then we say a famous martial artist, a famous detective, kanji. They're like, how are you owner of a? Is famous for knitting and owns a bike shop. And he just shrugs, like, I don't know, it works out for me. And then basically Kirishima was like, and Ria's like, uh, I, um, uh, and he just like looking in his bag, finds paper and pens, and goes like, "May I have your autograph, please?" And she chuckles and she signs it. And well, he was like, "Thank you." And he goes, "No problem. What about you?" He's like, "Um, I'm good." So, you guys are gonna help us train? He was like, "Mm-hmm." It's like, interesting, cool. And then Ryuji the cat comes out, and then he was like, "Oh, hi everyone." As basically, he was sleeping. As well, everyone just looks at him, and they're like, "Well, Yusuke, and not Yosuke and you, everyone else who don't never went to Mementos can't hear him, but everyone else that can says, "Oh, hi Ryuji," as they're like, "Wait, why are they talking to a cat?" You know what Chie says, as then you and Yosuke just say exactly the same time. Technically, the cat can talk, we just can't hear it. And they just look. Everyone that's from Persona 4 looks at them, like, and they look back at the people from Persona 5, and Kirishima and freaking Zuko, and like, huh? He goes like, cognitive world, cognitive science. If you've never been there, you can't, you understand him. Like, okay, so after they get talking, they came up with a regiment. Ryuji asked about his, Kirishima's quirk, and then like he wrote down some stuff that can help him gain more muscle very like not quick, but over time he'll gain more muscle and become a lot more stronger, and also help him also train his quirk better. He'll have to come by his place, which he gave him the address as a gym he owns. So, he's a fitness trainer. I would say why not give him a personal gym, just because it'd be a lot more convenient. Because then he has like the equipment there to help people train. So yeah. And Kirishima nods, and they say he just gives Azuku and be like, "Do what you do, but add on to this." And he's like, "Gotcha." Basically, Chie's gonna say, I'm gonna teach you guys how to do martial arts. Just meet at this time and place every once a week. So, I also have like my own things I gotta do. And well, technically, if you're wondering why did everyone come, it's because I wanted to meet someone who can basically use personas without freaking, without like the card or, well, without using the card. So basically though, there's added some social links onto Izuku. These social links though are from basically are still like the Persona 5, but it's mixed with Persona 4. But the cards are black. Basically, if you wanted to get a good depiction of it, it's less of like the white background from like the outside, like from the outer card. That part is all black, and the rest of the card is exactly the same. So yeah. So their social links are going to be added on to. And since he just met them, they actually added on to it. And now he gets specific things like improve like intelligence or awareness. Basically, it knows things real quick, faster reflexes, stuff that will help him out. You guys can imagine what it is. I'll think of whatever I can. Probably not. Most likely, I'm just gonna add whatever I think will be good, and never write it down. You guys can just, all I know is he's increased the social link. You guys can add on to what you want. That'll be perfectly fine. So, anyways. So, continuing on. So, after that, Futaba and, Izuku and Kirishima are leaving. Kirishima was, looks at the time, he's like, crap, my parents are gonna kill me, and, well, let's just say Futaba says, nope, don't worry, you're gonna be spending the night at our place, and besides, I mean, you two have to go to the dark hour, so, and Kirishima was like, oh yeah, so, basically, after they get that to Izuku's place, because, Futaba told him that, he's gonna be spending the night because of, she explained to his parents that technically he's with Izuku, her son. They have a class where they have to work on a project together. So do they mind if he spends the night? He'll come back tomorrow, and basically they said they don't mind. So what happens is this: during the night, after the dark hour happens, they get over to Tartarus. The whole entire big giant building. They're not going up into the sky. And Zuko's like, get ready to face whatever boss we need to go up against. Okay, Jaw? It's like, right. Me and Captain. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, Captain Redtooth. We will handle any enemies that need to get down brute force, and maybe a few bufo skills here and there. As Zuko not. So they get into the tower. They start from the bottom all the way up. Oh yeah, I mean it's also Ryuji. So they go through. And well, while they're going through, unknowingly someone appears in front of the tower. Two people. And well, this person says, I can't believe it's back. Another person goes, affirmative. It's amazing how it came back here. What does this mean? Do you think Nyx is coming back? As the other person looks at, the other person says, no, shouldn't be. He's not here. Let's go on and see what happens. Alright? As this person's walking forward, she goes, right. So while they're going, they go in. They see it's totally different. I forgot to tell you. The appearance from Tartarus from Persona 3 is totally different here. It's more like, how can I say this? It's more like it's a hangout spot. Like an actual hangout. There's like tables and chairs. Heck, there's even like a refrigerator to store food in or even like to eat. Like, that's what I mean. Like, this place looks totally different. They're both going like, why the heck we didn't have this when we came here? So yeah. So anyways. Moving on. So, when Izuku and Kirishima get up to the floor that was blocked, they say it's unblocked. And he goes like, huh. I'm like amazed, right? I mean, first off, it's blocked, and it's not. Just like Mom said, we have to go over to Mementos then later. And, basically, Jaw nod, it goes right, Fane. So, after that, I mean, they basically go up. They're taking down, like, each freaking shadows that come their way, and the shadows that they've been facing in Mementos change into actual looking like personas, but in this one they just stay like shadows. And they're basically Jaw says, hey Fane, why do these shadows never change into what they look like in palaces or Mementos? It's like basically Fane just slashes aka Zuko one shadow and he's like, I don't know. It's weird. So basically because Izuku's at a high level, Kirishima's ranking up pretty quickly. Let's just say, I think I made him like level 20 something. Yeah, 20 something, and they're like 30. They're just at like level 32. Izuku was at level 30, and he's like now level 36. So, yeah. I mean, basically, he says, I gotta travel back soon after we kill the boss so I can make some new personas. He's like, yeah, gotcha. So when they get to the floor before the whole entire, the whole entire where they can't go up no more, stop point, they see the boss. And the boss is, well, the boss isn't looking at actual persona, but with more like shadow like features, like an extra arm on it. That's not like one of the personas that has multiple arms. I mean, this one's like coming off his back, like hitting the ground, as then shadows of coming out of the what the see the black circle he makes. He's like, and basically like, so he summons more enemies. As basically Kirishima just says, Thanatos, Arsene? And he goes, yeah. Basically something else gonna need probably also going to need, as I was saying before I had to stop, probably Tamlin and, well, Neko Shogun. Basically, Kirishima nods. So, they go in. They basically, they're going in. Ryoji says, "Watch out, Jaw!" He pushes out of the way as, well, before, Ryoji gets hit. I mean, not Ryoji, Sai gets hit. All of a sudden, Arsene comes in, kicking the shadow in the face and it's flying. And he goes, "Thanks, Fang." He goes, "No problem." So, they keep on fighting. They're taking down that, chipping away at his health. And they even get into an all attack position. As, well, all of a sudden, the shadow starts laughing. And Fane, Izuku, Kirishima, and Ryuji are looking at it confusedly. As then all of a sudden, multiple spikes coming out of the ground, pulling them out of the all attack position. As then it starts healing. Hey, they're like, "What the?" And so, they're trying to, keep up with the enemies coming out. They say they're being swarmed. And basically, Zuku, well, aka Fane, is the only one who's standing while Kirishima and Ryuji are huffing and puffing. And he goes, "Crap. We underestimated this guy. Shit." As then he just hears someone says, "Of course. I mean, you did have numbers, but for a while there you did. But it lured you in thinking it was weak." As then he goes, "Affirmative. Count this shadow. It seems to have evolved to a certain degree where it can regenerate. Has both, well, actually all three are looking in the direction, and then he just sees how can I say this? Someone that looks like it has like robotic limbs, and a woman with red hair, white jacket, and, well, I guess it's basically a Helltire suit on and a rapier in their hand. As everyone was like, "What the?" As in, basically, this woman looks at it's gonna be Igus. He goes, "Igus, can you please?" He goes, "Right," launching cover fire basically, as that's what's happening. As then she goes over to the Izuku, Ryuji, Kirishima, and use the basically I forgot the name of the one of the basically the one heal spell not spell the one Mibuf wait Midorama. Yeah, that basically allows people to be healed. So yeah, basically that happens. And, Zuku, Kirishima, and Ryuji are feeling fine. As then she goes, "Now then, let's get on with this." As she rushes in, she basically calls out, basically her persona, and, has the strongest Buffalo spell. It's gonna be a while. I have to find it now. Okay. That's Buffalo. Oh, Bufudanya. Yeah. I think that's how it's pronounced. Basically, and it hits the enemy. As then I guess basically summons out her persona, which, well, for some reason, Izuku feels weird seeing it. Because it looks like, I know she gains the third protagonist persona. Her persona suddenly transforms into Orpheus. And I don't know if it went anywhere from there. So, I want to say she has her original persona and Orpheus. So she comes out that, and then she has Orpheus! And then Orpheus comes out, and Zuko, all of a sudden, like, eyes widening. And he goes, wait, she can summon out two personas at once? And, well, all of a sudden, basically, Izuku gets up, because he hears Thanatos. He goes like, seems that they're doing fine. He's like, Thanatos, do you? He goes, I know them. Get up, though. Our fight ain't done yet. Your comrades are still weakened. They need a little bit of rest. But you're stronger than them because of your level. So, call my name and use my weapon. And then, basically, in the middle of the fight, I guess, says, basically, oh my god, I know I'm going to pronounce her name wrong. Mitsuru. She goes, Mitsuru, look out! Basically, as when Mitsuru is about to get hit, all of a sudden, they just hear, Thanatos! As Thanatos appears out of nowhere with his weapon in hand, slices off one of the arms of the creature, grabbing its face, slamming it to the ground, and then he throws his weapon there, and Zuko jumps, catching it, and all of a sudden he uses, Zeo on the blade, and just stabs the creature's freaking head in. Well, stabs the Shadow's head, basically. And they're both shot. Basically, Mitsuru and I guess say, Thanatos? As, Zuko, lets go of the blade and lands. He goes, thanks for the help. At the end, Thanatos, so he just nods and disappears. Which then, Izuku falls on the ground. He's like, whew, that was tough. Well, hey, Jaw, well, looks like we can get up to the next floor. Sly, you okay? As, Ryuji said, does say, I'm fine. As Ayas and Mitsuru go over to him. Ayas with a serious look on Mitsuru. And you're like, how do you have basically, the sin of death with you? And Ayas does have her hands, one of her hands pointing at Zuko. And he goes like, persona user. That's one of the personas I have. And basically just look at him and they're like, what? As just then, all of a sudden, Thanatos comes out of Izuku without him calling, but his arm is still, activated for it. As then, all of a sudden, he turns into his human form. And he goes like, guess, Mitsuru, it's been a while. And like, you! And, I guess pointing at her hands, and goes like, whoa, Nyx isn't coming back, but our young friend here can wield me just like he could. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I back? Well, a greater threat than Nyx is trying to draw out more than the power he can handle. Let's just say, he's trying to keep humanity in its place. For the weak to be the weak, and the strong to be the strong, and you can guess what that will mean. Nyx will get more power. And our friend out there, who knows how long he can handle being what he is. As Aegis puts her, hand down, and hands down, and nod. And Zuko's like, what do you mean, him? And he was like, nothing to worry about, Zuko. Which, he was like, fine, codename, man. Wait, how are you human? And he was like, oh, my apologies. Allow me to introduce myself. Well, I went by a human name, but for now, call me Thanatos, the son of death. It's a pleasure to meet you. As he bows, and Kirishima and Ryuji are like, wait, huh? And he goes, allow me to explain. I was once a shadow. I was basically, you say, the coming of Nyx. You defeat each shadow, and, well, Nyx will get closer to being made, well, or to be summoned. And, well, that was, at the end, I was deaf. See, I was supposed to be well, the final boss before Nyx. And he goes like, wait, who's Nyx? Basically, even Ryuji and Kirishima was like, yeah. And then he just says, death. What people desire for, basically. The more people die or want to die, Nyx will get stronger. But because of our equal friend, he sacrificed himself to become, well, a lock for that and denying death. Like you have. You denied your own death. The reason why I'm a part of your, well, a part of you, Zuko. He was like, wow. So that's how you, And besides, it's been very interesting. I mean, I ain't gonna be coming out being this way all the time. As you can, if you remember from the Persona 3 game, what he looked like, yes, he still looks like that. He's like, I prefer to be in my actual form. So, as he transforms into Thanatos, he was like, I'm gonna be sticking like this for a long time. Alright? And Zuko nods, and he disappears. He's like, anyways, I guess, Mitsuru, it's a pleasure. Real name is Zuko Sakura. That's Enjiro Kirishima Ryuji. He's a cat. But then Aiga says, processing, cat? He looks like a raccoon, we know that's why we call him Sly. And he goes, yeah, you get used to it. So anyways, they go up, and then, they get the teleporter working, they teleport back down, and they basically rest. And they're like, how long do we have till the dark hour's over? It's basically Kirishima, has his watch activated, and he was like, not that long. Probably only like another 35 minutes, like another like 25 minutes or something. That fight took forever. It's like, I know. Ah, crap, we got Hero versus Villains tomorrow. Well, this is it for the day, at least then. He's like, yeah. So, he just looks at, Mitsuru, and I guess he goes like, so, how do you two have personas? Especially you. With that. As in, all of a sudden, he starts hearing this, Izuku starts hearing this ringing, and it's just getting louder and louder. And he's holding his head, he's like, what's happening? Why would this ringing stop? As the ring gets so loud, it knocks him out. As he only hears Ryuji Kirishima say Izuku! Basically, as, well, when Izuku wakes up, he's somehow, he's in that's void, but there's stars, and then it's like a cloud area in front of him. And he was like, what the? And then all of a sudden he hears a sound and looks behind him as there's a huge monster trying to go towards a door and rip off a lock. As he was like, what the hell's going on? As this door, the lock is not breaking. But Nyx just getting mad, trying hitting it. And then Izuku just says, doesn't understand why. But he's just pissed off. So he goes like, you fucking bastard! Thanatos, Arsene, Izanagi! As all three of them come out. As Thanatos says, Nyx. He goes like, that's Nyx? He's like, yes. As Arsene goes like, huh, a despicable creature. As Izanagi just says, though, let's at least bring it down a notch. At least send it back packing. As he was like, "Why are you so pissed, Izanagi?" As he was like, "I don't know. You're pissed." It's like, fair point. So, basically, Izuku rushes in. He throws out, Agi. Basically, Izanagi, used Zio. Well, Zio ga. Wait, no, that's that's Kingdom Hearts. Shit. Basically, he uses Zeodyne, and then Arsene, basically. I mean, they were in the 30s. Basically, how you're thinking he got this talisman. I mean, well, basically, he was able to make them, and then it's a skill card so that the personas can learn it. He gave them each one the highest one, and then basically, what happens is Arsene, Arsene basically uses Egona, Egon, Egano, Egan. Yeah, it's Egan. So as then Nick sees him, and he goes like, "Hey, ugly, over here!" And then he takes off the chain, and it turns into a sword. Basically, Thanatos is one, and he pulls out his pistol too. As just then, someone appears, and he's like, how amusing. And then all of a sudden, Nyx gets slapped away, and she goes, "Go back to whence you came." As then he goes, "Elizabeth?" She goes, "Ah, Izuku." Well, I mean, they do know his name, so he was like, "Wait, Izuku? Wait, just call me Trickster?" She goes, "Yes, but we're outside the Velvet Room. Master, my master knows I'm here. I usually come on and check on him." Actually, she turns around and sees the Persona 3 protagonist, and then she smiles. But for some reason, she starts to see a crack, and she was like, "Wait, what's happening?" As he was, "What the?" As Thanatos looking at him, Persona 3 protagonist, and, well, he's in a shot too, as all of a sudden, the whole entire, version, basically, lock of him, basically, because he was like a statue and chain as being a lock, suddenly just turns back into a human. He was like, "What the?" As, he just floats down, his top of his face, as if he can't see, and then he goes, "You'll be the next wielder of Orpheus. It'll be a good idea to you have it. Here." And then all of a sudden, he just taps Izuku's chest, and then a freaking new persona comes onto his arm, right next to Thanatos. And then he basically goes, he just hears, "I am thou. Thou art I am in the sea of your soul." Basically, I string the fate that we sew together. Call my name. And he goes, "Orpheus." And then Orpheus appears. As then Izuku looks up and then looks back at the guy that the third protagonist, and then he just turns around and floats back up. Elizabeth is looking, and then he turns back into the lock. He goes, "What the?" As he looks back, and Orpheus, well, imagine Orpheus then suddenly changes to match Izuku. You know why this happened? Why not Thanatos? Thanatos looked better the way he was already. And then, well, Orpheus changed into Orpheus Picoro. Orpheus Picoro. And basically, he's like, "What the?" And, well, he's even confused, and Elizabeth goes like, "Huh, evolution of a new soul, a new wielder of him. Because there only could be one. Alright." And she floats down and goes like, "Well, time to go." She just touches Zuko's forehead, and he goes back to himself, and he wakes up, back in, the blonde. He's like, ah, my head. Wait, he goes, wait. And then he lifts up his sleeve, and he just sees Thanatos, Arsene, Izanagi, and Orpheus Piccolo. Like, Picaro. He's like, that wasn't a dream. As then he hears, amazing, isn't it? You have Orpheus, but he changed. And then he looks over, he sees Mitsuru and Aigis and everyone else. Not like the whole entire group, just like his mom, Kirishima, and Ryuji. He's like, how did you? He was like, they needed to take you home, and, well, I had a ride waiting. So, he's like, yeah. How was I out for? But basically, Futaba says, it's already 6 in the morning. He's like, damn. Alright. So, can you tell me who you guys are? As basically, Mitsuru nods. So she explains about, well, the SEES. Basically, like, basically what they did, and how then she basically is the company that she owns still takes care of shadows, because there are, no matter where shadows are around. And he's like, okay, I get it. I get that. But how though? Like, how's that even possible? Yeah, it was SEES. Basically. Yeah, I was right. So she goes, a lot of things in this world is impossible. How do everyone have personas? And it seems yours are different. Well, both of yours. You were able to hold on to 4 personas, somehow 3 personas at once, from what your friend said. And, well, it was like you summoned a 4th one now. Anyways, listen here. I want you to come by this building tomorrow. And we're gonna, give you some equipment to handle shadows a little bit more easier. Alright? As I guess does saying, like, I already have your contact information. Do not worry. We'll get in touch with you. Goodbye, Izuku Sakura. Indro Kirishima. Ryuji. As, he looks at, he says goodbye, Futaba Sakura. They basically leave. He's like, sorry about that, Mom. She goes, it's no problem. You weren't hurt. Just, why were you hearing ringing? He's like, I don't know. Should I explain from what happened? And she does not. So he tells her about Nyx, Thanatos, how he met this guy, and then he got Orpheus. It's just, everything didn't make sense. As Kirishima was like, well, you got another power. It's added to you. So he goes, yeah, I know. Anyways, when they get ready for school, did you guys even get any sleep? As he looks over at Kirishima and Ryuji, and then he nods. He's like, thank God. Anyways, so they get ready. They get ready early for school, and they walk. After they get ready, they walk into school. And when they get there, though, they see basically Shoka, Todoroki, and then basically, I don't know why, I just think it'd be, just another thing I wanted to say. I thought about it, why not just made it, female Shinzo, still Shinzo, a female, but daughter to Aizawa. Yeah, okay. And then Aizawa was walking with them, along with someone else. And then Zuko was like, who's he? Kirishima shrugs and they just walk over. Basically, Shoka sees them, Shinzo looks over, and she was like, "Who are they, Ashoka?" Like, nothing. I mean, like, they're classmates. They're pretty cool, kinda. And they're like, "Huh." As in, basically, as I was there too, like coming up, he's like, uh, "You're waiting for them." Both of them just nod, and he was like, Shoko says, "It'd be a good way for her to, meet new people, right?" It's true. Anyways, come on. And he was like, "Yeah, Dad." Anyways, see ya, sis. Basically, Shinzo, says, "See ya." As then he looks, basically, before the person left, he was like, he sighs and walks over to Shoka, and he basically hugs her and he's like, "I also met you too." She's like, "Shut up, Toya." It's like, yeah, I'm basically a Razorhead adopted me, but don't worry. So, then after that, he leaves, along with Razorhead into UA. As that, he basically, Izuku and Kyushin was like, "Hey, ladies." Well, not really. Like, "Hi, Shoka, right?" She nods and he was like, "And she goes, "Shinzo Aizawa. Nice to meet you." Like, "You sound, well, you look tired, but you sound awake." And she goes, "Coffee." It's like, fair point. And she was like, "Does that stuff really keep you awake?" And she goes, "Uh huh. At least until I get to class. Then I can fall asleep." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So basically, Shoko says, like, "So, Izuku, right? I mean, Izuku Sakura, right?" He was like, "Yeah, call me Izuku. I don't really mind." She's like, "Okay then. Weird." Anyway, so, Izuku. And basically, they're walking to class. He's like, "So, how are you in the support course?" It's like, "Pretty good. I mean, I'm just working on some stuff already. I mean, kind of comes in handy when you're basically kind of invent stuff already because your mom help. Then basically you just learn from her." She's like, "Huh, how good at inventing things?" He was like, "Depends. What you need." She, she was like, anything, really?" It's like, "Okay." Oh, crap. Yeah, I spend way too much time on the... I never got to the point of hero versus villains. Shit. Because I already want to, like, not end this, but I just want to, like, stop. We're going to get to the hero versus villains, but it's going to be, like, a break, and it's not a cliffhanger. So, yeah, basically, though. So it just explains, like, a better hero costume. He's like, "Huh, alright. Which part of your, I mean, wait, what's your quirk again?" She goes, "Half ice, half fire." It's like, "Okay. Wait, what do you need your costume like?" She goes, "Somewhere where I can keep myself heated on my right side, but I can keep my left side cold." And he's like, "Okay." Then he's thinking, is she denying her other half of her quirk? Huh. Alright then. So, after that little discussion happened, they get into class. Everything's gonna go exactly the same way. Especially if All Might coming. Well, it's All Might coming in, and then basically all of a sudden they see, well, someone else walking with him. Basically. And, well, Aizawa goes like, "Everyone, this is, well, my son. No, basically known as the underground hero." And he was like, "Sup?" So people were like, "Wait, another underground hero?" And, well, the person raised up their hand and be like, "What's your hero name?" It was Blue Crimson. That's all you need to know. Anyways, so me and All My Hero are gonna be your, well, fighting teachers, basically. We're gonna watch you fight each other. And then we'll determine who's the winner. 2 versus 2. Get your hero costumes on and let's go. Basically, Izuku's hero costume was already made. Let's just say this. He has the style almost to Joker's, but he's also able to have like daggers that have like not electricity, but like electric current go over it. Imagine it being like almost like it's a dagger, but it's what's the best simulation? Wait, similar. Okay, yeah, it's just a dagger that has a blade that's made out of like electricity. It can cut through stuff like anyone with ease, but it also can shock people. So yeah, so he looks like Joker with the jacket on and the pants, but he has the shirt basically can be seen, and it looks like it's just a regular shirt. So basically, he just goes with a nonchalant look, like it's everyday clothing. And everyone was kind of surprised when they all saw it, but he does say, "Oh, there's a lot of stuff I add onto it." So, when he basically kind of like lifts the jacket to the side, everyone can see there's like a lot of tools on him. Like he has freaking guns with rubber bullets. He has daggers. He has freaking rope. Heck, he even has like someone just asked, "Wait, is that a boomerang?" It's like, no, it's a batarang. It's like, batarang? You mean like from Batman? It's like, yes, it is a batarang. No, it isn't. And it was Dinky who said it. He was like, but it looks like it's a freaking snack holder. I like bat cookies. And he just munches on it. And so he's like, okay. And someone just looked at Zuko. He's like, what? Had a light lunch. Had a light breakfast. And then, basically Kirishima says, can I have some of that? He's like, sure. So, yeah. So, basically, the teams are this. Kirishima, Izuku, versing each other, along with Bako and Jiro. Basically, it's Jiro and Izuku versus Bako and Kirishima. Now, this is getting long, and I want to save the next part for later, because I'm gonna want to introduce who's the next palace gonna be. So, hope you guys enjoy this part. Have a nice day, night, wherever you are. Bye, everyone.